Hi friends, how are you? It's Lisa from Life with Fife. We're going to talk today about courage, that it takes courage to find the correct garment for the gauge swatch that you have, and because it may mean a change of plans. Once you've invested the time into the gauge swatch, you will actually learn something about what the garment will be like. Well, I want to just talk about that a little bit. First, I'm going to share with you my little sweater that I built, that I built. This is another Cocoa Knits design. It was supposed to be I'm going to post some pictures and videos here about it and talk about it a little bit more, but it was supposed to be a pullover. What I did was I cut it down the middle. I just was like, I'm not ripping it back because I had already cast off and already made the neckline, and it really was just a matter of that it was too small, and cutting it down the middle seemed like the perfect solution. I was happy with the sleeves. I was happy with the overall fit everywhere except around the bust. So I cut down the middle, picked up stitches, did my hem around and put in buttons and buttonholes, and there you go. How to have a cardigan. It seems like, why not, right? Why not do that? But in the past, that would have been really but that wasn't my plan for what I was doing. And now I'm kind of learning to be flexible and learning to not be so fixated on what I thought I was going to be doing, because knitting is like life. We just don't know what's going to happen next, and we have to keep our options open, and we have to be flexible, and we have to remain calm. Above all things, we have to remain calm. So it taught me something. So every sweater I try to come away with some kind of learning experience, and what this experience taught me was that when I was looking at the gauge swatch, I remember thinking, this is a really light, and it's not a particularly drapey sweater, and it would work really well as a boxy cardigan. I remember actually having that thought, but I was like, but I'm making a pullover, and I really wanted a V-neck pullover. And I had just purchased this pattern from Cocoa Knits because I wanted to learn the design, and so I was getting fixated on it. But so what we can do when we do our gauge swatch is we can look at it and ask the question, like, well, what wants to emerge out of this gauge swatch? I mean, this is like, something is very thin and drapey and lovely. It would make kind of a filmy, nice sweater that is a little, that brushes up against the body and shows the curves. Something thicker and less drapey is better for a boxier, sort of more structured fit. What I've been doing is just kind of like grabbing some of the yarns that I have, and I love this Brooklyn tweed yarn. I'm so happy that I purchased it secondhand and got a chance, like a large amount of it, because I'm really getting to know the texture and what it's like to work with worsted weight. Before this, I had only almost exclusively worked with fingering weight for garments anyway. And so it's really nice to just kind of get a feel for what it's like to work with worsted weight. And it's also, it pairs up nicely because it's a light color. I normally don't choose light colors. Because it's a light color, it's also really cool to kind of double up with, and it kind of shows off another color if you hold it double with another yarn. So it's really interesting. So I've been putting together some like different swatches and seeing what my gauge is, and just kind of putting them up on this on my bulletin board, just to kind of look at and get a feel for and see, do I really like this? Do I want to continue with this particular look? Is this something I want to make a garment with? I wonder if this would make a really good sweater. Would this make a good hat? Would this be good for a bag? Like, you really just start to let it speak to you and let it tell you what it wants to be. When Rick Rubin talks about how creativity is really just allowing something to flow through us, there are so many creative ideas in the fashion world and with garments, and there are so many things out there. And when we sort of just open up to that and kind of just put those swatches, which is the fabric that we'll be using, and just let it speak to us, look at it, and really like allow it to let us know what it wants to be. So yeah, I made my mom a hat. I'll post some pictures of that. It's got a pom-pom on it, and it's pink, which is so not my normal thing, but it was so fun to make. And it's really nice to make a gift for someone else that who wants it. My mom's been asking me for a hat, and it's like, it's so lovely to make a gift for somebody when you know that they really will wear it and love it and enjoy it, and that it's going to be something of a, it's almost like a bridge of your relationship. It's like now you have this object that you've made that continues to speak to them in a way, and it's almost like a new aspect of yourself becomes in relationship with them. So it's really cool. I wish you a happy weekend. I wish you happy creativity. Namaste. So here's my pullover. Whoops, sorry for the camera. Too small. I put on, I cast on for the button bands, and I'm going to cut down the middle for the steek right there, as you can see. Oops, Mark just turned on the light. And that's what I did to make my cardigan.